About 5 years ago, an old girlfriend of mine got me into it. She had been a kayaker. I've always kind of wanted to do it, but never really got into it. I ended up picking up, broke right down and bought a brand new boat and all the gear, and she took me out on the upper Colorado when it was running about 5,000. And I swam twice, both rapids, but it was an all right swim. It was a bit cold water. Didn't quite have my roll down yet, and was kind of figuring things out, but just kind of fell in love with the sport right then and there. It was a lot like skiing because you have a different line to look through. So like as you ski, you look kind of where you're going to go and where you can go. It's kind of like reading the mountain. Well, you read the river when you're on the river, and it's very similar. So you have like a line that you need to choose, and then that goes through, like if you see a hole or a rock, you want to go around it, just a lot like skiing. So I took to it real fast, and these play parks started popping up everywhere, and I saw that these boats were a lot smaller, so I started getting into that and learning how to do tricks and spins, and that was a little bit more like freestyle stuff, stuff that I kind of had a background in. Same thing for rotations and loops and spins, and being like an off axis and spinning, and it just made a whole new realm of kayaking. And I always kind of had an idea of opening up my own kayak shop. Well, Frisco was thinking about doing a play park on 10 Mile Creek, where actually I live. It's right off of 10 Mile Creek. So I kind of got involved with the town a little bit and went to the meetings and gave my input of how good it would do the town and the community and the kayaking community to have something like this, have another sport, and be that it's right on downtown, easy access. And they thought it was a great idea too. They discussed it with a bunch of other people as well, and got allocated the funds and actually passed it through, and that's kind of what started them building the play park last year. When that happened, at the same time, I was also looking at maybe buying some commercial property in the vicinity of the play park, hoping that this would all kind of tie together to itself. The thing about kayaking is it's kind of a regression-degression sport. It's a sport that you can do that you can get really good and confident with, and you start pushing the limit. And then when you start pushing that limit, you also start pushing the ability to scare yourself as well as get hurt. And I had a real bad swim a couple years ago at Numbers over in the Arkansas on number 4 when it was about 3,700. And I lost my boat for 3 days. Luckily got out of the water before number 5, and that kind of messed with my head a little bit. I almost drowned, drank a lot of water, got stuck in a hole and recirced. The people I was with were awesome. They were really emergency proficient and got me over, and luckily I didn't get hurt. But it took that whole summer for me to get my head back into it, because it's such a head coping sport. Skiing is a little bit more two-dimensional, where you're on the slopes. Even if it snows and there's 7 to 10 inches, it's changed a little bit, but in all reality, it's still the same kind of hip, still the same kind of mogul, same tree in the same area. We're on a river, from 300 CFS to 400 to 5 to 6, it's totally different. And it can be totally different at just 50 or 25 CFS. So it's like every time you go on a river, no matter how many times you've gone down that river, it's always different.